Hey, we should be live with part one of Faster Than Light, a game that is very near and dear to Grayson here's heart.
Yeah.
Grayson, say hello to the audience and the viewers and, people's dogs as well, perhaps.
Hello.
Yeah.
This is a game that, again, as Peter said, is very dear to me, and I figured that Peter might enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's the kind of game that I got into around the same time that I got into the original Risk of Rain, and I feel like, it's similar quality.
Yep. And tonight felt like a nice night to start something a little different. Kobe's not available tonight, so we won't be having any none of the other streams that we're currently working on, and I thought, why not start something different? This felt like a good option.
Yeah.
Before I got to this menu, the game suggested I start with the tutorial, so I suppose that's exactly what I will do. Welcome to FTL. You are the captain of a Federation starship on a very important mission. I gotta collect the cheese for Nazarene. The Federation is currently being torn apart by vicious rebels. Your ship is carrying data vital to the defense of the Federation. You'll be traveling through dangerous sectors of the galaxy with the rebel fleet in hot pursuit. Make it to the exit beacon of each sector before the rebels can catch you. Your ship, the Kestrel. Why are so many ships named the Kestrel? I mean, yeah, I get it. There's birds called Kestrels, but it feels very cliche at this point.
Are there multiple ships called the Kestrel?
I have definitely played multiple things in the past and seen multiple things in the past with ships called the Kestrel.
Really? This is the only thing I know of that called that.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head where I've seen that name before, but I know I've seen it multiple times.
I mean, I Google Kestrel ship, and between the results for this game, I see there's like a oil tanker named that.
Huh. Possibly I'm aware of the oil tanker from something. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, so container ship maybe? I don't know.
I might be talking out my ass here, but I feel like I've definitely heard things called this before. I don't know. Oh well. I might be having a false memory here. Alright. Your ship, the Kestrel, focuses the typical game view. The circular icon points to rectangles, though. The circular icons at the bottom of the screen are your ship's primary systems. Systems use power from the reactor, pointed at by the arrow. Okay, so these circles are the primary systems, and the bars are the reactor. These are your ship's subsystems. Unlike systems, they do not require power from the reactor. Okie dokie. So let's see, we've got S, we've got microphone, plus, oxygen, bombs, we got boobs, camera, and pause button. Let's see. Hover your mouse over any system's icon to get more information about the system. Ah, there. Shields. Sustains projectile blocking shields. Manning increases shield recharge speed. Level 2, one shield barrier, status fully powered, unmanned. Add power A, remove power shift A. Engines, charges the FTL drive and powers evasion. Manning increases dodge chance. And I'm not going to read the rest of it.
By the way, I will say don't worry too much about the hotkeys. You can just do it with the left and right mouse buttons.
Ah, that's convenient. Medbay. Hills crew members inside the medbay. Oxygen. Replenishes the ship's oxygen supply. Weapons. Click on a weapon to charge and fire. Manning reduces charge times. It looks like there's like a rectangle here, but I don't see anything below that. No, it's
That's just attached to the weapon system.
Ah, fair. Type, laser, shots per charge, 2. Normal damage, 1. Possible effect, fire. And then there's an empty one. Over here we have piloting. Requires a crew member to evade in combat or jump. Sensors. Enables view of all rooms and info for enemy ships. And doors. Allows for remote opening and closing of doors. Oh, I see it also says that each system's room will light up, it says if I scroll over these. Okay, there we go, now it's showing. Gotcha. The whole meter. shield level and current resources are in the top left. We got amount of fuel, number of missiles, number of drone parts, which I don't have any of, current shield status, and current hull integrity. If your hull meter is reduced to 0, your ship will explode. I think I accidentally skipped over one, I'm not entirely sure though. Left-click on the engine system, icon of power, will transfer from your reactor into your engines. Try to keep your vital systems fully powered. Right-click the depower system if you want to reroute its power. Alright, well I added some to these guys. Oh no! Your engine room took 2 damage. Its system icon has become red to show it's broken. Your hull meter has also taken 2 damage. Warning, engine's critical. Your crew cannot repair the ship's hull, but they can fix the engines. Select your crew members using left click. I probably should have finished reading that before I clicked on one of them. With the crew selected, right click on a room to send them there. Try sending your crew members to the engine room. Okay, crew, go to the engine. Crew members will automatically repair systems, fight fires, fix breaches, and fight intruders in their rooms. Fighting low oxygen and fire will hurt the crew. I think I forgot a comma there. Fighting low oxygen and fire will hurt the crew. Awesome! Your engines are now repaired. Notice that repair systems will automatically try to repower themselves to their last power state. Some systems can be manned by crew members to provide a small bonus to the system. Crew members will automatically man any functioning system in their room. The silhouette above the power bar shows that the system is manned, which indeed it currently is. So if I were to take this dude, and I were to tell him to go here, that should swap to there now being a man. Oh, this one I don't even have anything on. Let's try powering a little bit. Okay, now I can see that there is indeed an icon there. Gotcha. Oh no! A fire has broken out in your starboard airlock. You could send your crew member to put it out, but let's take advantage of your airlock. Open one of the airlock doors by left-clicking it. Opening doors allows you to drain sections of your ship of oxygen and put out fires. Makes sense. Rooms turn pink as the oxygen drains out. Your oxygen system will slowly refill once your ship's leaks are gone. Now that your engines are fixed and the fires are out, we should FTL jump to the next location. If you don't currently have a pilot, you should probably send a crewman to the helm. Okay, this Tom person can be the helmsman. Off Tom goes. Now that your engines are fixed up, yeah, I already read that. Each jump consumes 1 fuel. Without fuel, you will be stranded and unable to jump. Jumping also requires a crew member in the piloting system and a powered engine system. Click on the jump button to continue. So let's see, it's taking fuel, not surprising. This is the beacon map. Oh, wow, looks like a galaxy here. A ship marks your current location. Your current location, makes sense. Hover your mouse over a location to learn more about it, or get more info about it. Left click on a connecting node to travel there now. An unvisited location, an unvisited location, an unvisited location. We'll go here. Wait, I can't. We'll go here. Every new location will have an event like this. You might have multiple choices available to you at an event. In this example, a weak pirate ship is trying to destroy you. Continue. Special blue choices like these are unlocked by having certain upgrades to your equipment. They are nearly always a good choice. Okay, that feels like that's nearly always a good choice then. Welcome to combat. You could use spacebar or middle mouse to pause the game at any time to strategize, give commands, or reallocate your power. Try to pause the game now. You need to power your weapon to fight. The amount of power required is pictured in the weapon box marked below. Looks like it's just 1. Left click on it to power it. A powered weapon turns white. Right click to depower weapon. Okay, it's turned red though.
That's because you already had it powered.
Oh. Okay, left click on it to power it. Okay. Left click a powered weapon to arm it. then target a room in the enemy ship by left-clicking on it. You can also use hotkeys 1 through 4 to access your weapons. The weapons will fire when ready. Make sure the game is unpaused, spacebar middle mouse. Okay. Then I will attack the helm. Let's see. Oh no, your two-shot laser... Hang on, I'll pause this. Your two-shot laser cannot penetrate the pirate's level 2 shields, but luckily he can't get through your shields either. Note, every 2 powered bars in your shield system nets you 1 more shield. Every 2 powered bars. Okay, so the fact that this enemy has 2 of these should mean that they have a total of 3 shields? Is that how I read that?
What that means is that you need to have 2 power to power 1 layer of shield. You can see in the bottom left there, you have 2 power bars for your shield, but you only have 1 layer of shield.
Oh, I see, I see. I was
So the fact that he has 2 layers of shield means that you must either have, 4 or 5, power to the shield.
That does make sense. Looks like you need some more help to get through his shields. Some events can provide items. This one is providing you with an Artemis missile launcher. Okay, continue. The Artemis was automatically equipped in an available weapon slot. Shooting it expands your missile stock, but missiles pierce through all enemy shields. Use the missile to damage the enemy shield system, and then your lasers can get through as well. Makes sense. And this appears to be the shields. Wait. Oh, I'm not. Oh, I was unpaused. Wait. Okay. You'll notice as enemy systems are damaged or destroyed, their icons turn orange or red, respectively. Well, it's currently orange at the moment, so presumably we've done some damage but not destroyed them. Repeatedly attacking a red system will not do no additional damage to the system, but will still damage the enemy's hull. Reduce their hull to 0 and they will explode. If you need a reminder for what each enemy system icon stands for, you can mouse over the green symbols along the bottom of the target box. That's definitely convenient. I played way too many games that have this number of... Well, everybody, it looks like Grayson has disappeared, so for a moment being, we're just going to take a little rest here. As a matter of fact, this might be a good opportunity for me to take a brief break as well, so we are currently on BRB.
Oh, hello? I cannot tell if the stream is still going, but it seems that I had internet issues, and now Peter is going to be right back.
Okay, I have returned. Maybe Grayson will be back soon as well.
Yep, hello.
Hello.
I don't know what happened to my internet, but I was not there for when it introduced the Artemis missile.
That's very odd. But yeah, when I saw that you disappeared, I decided it was a good opportunity to take a break that I kind of needed to take anyway.
Yep, and that makes sense.
Looks like we destroyed the vessel. You
Nice.
destroyed the pirate ship. As salvage, you gain, from left to right, some fuel, missiles, scrap, and another weapon, a halberd beam. Note the reward resource icons correspond to your reserves along the top of the screen. Cool. Weapons or drones are added to your cargo if there is no more room in their respective system. Left-click on the ship info button so we can equip your new weapon. Okay. This is your equipment screen. You can see more detailed information about your weapons, drones, or augments by mousing over them. Click and drag your new halberd beam over the Artemis to swap them out. Then hit accept. Okay. Alright, if there's multiple choices, maybe I should have both in here. There's also dual lasers.
That is your cargo. That is not your weapons.
Oh. I'm glad you explained that. Oops! Your weapon system, max power 2, is not upgraded enough to support your new weapon, power requirement 3. Open your ship screen back up so we can fix this. This is the upgrade screen. You can see detailed info about your systems and upgrade them by spending scrap, which is presumably this currency up here. You can also upgrade your reactor at the bottom of the menu, which is important for keeping everything fully powered. Reactor provides power to all ship systems. Each power bar allows you to send 1 unit of power to a system. Subsystems do not need power from the reactor. Left-click on your weapon system to upgrade it, then click Accept to close the upgrades. Now power your new weapon. You might need to power down your other weapons in order to have enough power. Right-click Depowers weapons. Final tip. You can rearrange your weapons in the weapon system toolbar by clicking and dragging. If your weapon system is damaged, this order determines the order they are depowered, right to left. That's it for the basics. Good luck out there. Press continue to quit this tutorial. Okay, so that was the tutorial. We have successfully completed the tutorial for Faster Than Light, which is pretty cool.
Alright.
Apparently their next game is also available, Into the Breach.
I want to do a Let's Play on that someday. Seems like it's cool, but I haven't played it yet.
Fair. Hey, let's do some new game. So here we have the Kestrel.
Which you can rename to whatever you want.
That is true. That I certainly can.
Good.
There we go. Should be
Amazing.
face. So we got a ship, and we got a list of ships. Choose your ship! And it doesn't look like there are any other ships that I can choose here. To unlock a new ship, you have 2 options. First, find and complete a unique quest within the game world. These will often start in the homeworld sectors. Alternatively, beat the game with the previous ship in the list in order to unlock the next. Hover over any ship to get more details. Well, I guess for right now we got a Kestrel cruiser, which I unnamed.
Yeah, selecting a ship resets its name to whatever the default is. Ship Fist.
Don't ask me, my brain had a bump there. Layout. It looks like I only have a Layout A arrangement. Complete 2 for Layout B. That Federation have 6 unique aliens in the Kestrel cruiser simultaneously, and then there's other locked things. We've got Josh Cubbin. Humans are common and uninteresting. True that. Skills improve slightly faster. Swamps and human. And we also have Karis. Humans are uncommon and uninteresting. There we go. Here's the 2 weapons.
You can also rename your crew members.
Ah.
As well as change their appearance. Expected.
There we go. Just they mean some characters after Toho characters.
I definitely named the characters after random other characters in my playthroughs as well.
So we got easy mode, normal mode, and hard mode. I would usually default to normal for a first-time playthrough of most games. However, if you think this game is unduly difficult, I would go with easy. What do you think, Grayson?
It is very difficult, but, whether you want to pick easy or normal depends on your patience for, dying a bunch.
Well, we will see.
I suppose it's like Risk of Rain 2 on whether you select Drizzle or Rainstorm.
Fair. Okay, here's another question then that I think is perhaps an even better one. Let's say that I start the game, I beat like 3 or 4 levels on normal, and then I get to the point where I'm finding that it is not fun anymore and I want to swap down to easy. Is that something I can do, or do I have to completely restart the game from scratch to do that?
Just like Risk of Rain 2, it's per run difficulty.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So this is, as I mentioned, a roguelike style game where, you just go for, as long as you can. Maybe win, maybe not.
Fair. How long is a typical run?
I said that I think it's fairly comparable to the length of a Risk of Rain 2 run. What is that noise outside my house? Can't tell if that's a motorcycle or a machine gun.
It's a guy on a motorcycle with a machine gun.
Obvious answer. Yes, that I should have thought of that.
Indeed. But yeah, I guess it's...
But yeah, I think the runs are about the length of a Risk of Rain 2 run. Maybe longer, but, if you ever need to stop for any reason, this game does let you save your run and resume later.
Fair. I do think that it's safe to say that since that's not a terribly long period of time, that I can probably afford to do a normal run and see how I take to it. And if it just feels overwhelmingly difficult, I can always, make the next run an easy one. I think normal's good, but definitely not hard mode. Advanced edition content. Almost certainly disabled unless you have a very strong reason why I should enable it.
Disabled. It's practically... It's a free expansion that, if you were to enable it on your first run, it would be like enabling Survivors of the Void on your first run.
That would be a bit intense.
It just... I don't know if it makes the game harder or not, but it certainly adds more that you need to keep track of and understand, and for a first run, that's not a good idea.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in add new things at a gradual pace so you don't get overwhelmed. So let's see, do I do anything with these guys here, or...
No, that just tells you how many you start with.
Okay, fair enough. That doesn't really mean...
Same for the weapons.
Yeah, that doesn't mean too much to me just yet, so I'm not going to worry about that overly. Okay, so I guess there's not really much else to do here, so I'd say it's a good time to start. The data you carry is vital to the remaining Federation fleet. You'll need supplies for the journey, so make sure to explore each sector before moving on to the next, but get to the exit before the pursuing rebel fleet can catch up. Tip: grinding sectors. It can be beneficial to stay at a sector for as long as possible to improve the ship, since each sector is increasingly difficult. Which reminds me of Risk of Rain 2, getting items before continuing. Okay.
Exactly.
So we got our ship.
The games are actually fairly similar now that I think about it.
Yep, so we got our ship. As best as I can tell, there's not really very much I can do on this screen. Although I might add, one of these to the Artemis just to be on the safe side. Might even add one to the burst laser as well, just to make sure I
can give you one small minor tip if you'd like.
Sure.
There's no need to have the midday power unless you're actually trying to heal people with it.
Okay. Then I will go ahead and reallocate that into the engines.
Yep, besides that, unless you have any questions, you're free to figure everything out on your own.
Sounds good. And yeah, what are these buttons? Save your current crew positions. Return crew to save positions. I see. And they were mentioning how the crew, to a degree and extent, they end up aiding with whatever room that they are in. Having a guy in the captain's quarters, which turns out to be Yomu, in fact, it absolutely makes a lot of sense to me. And this one is the engines. I feel like having that manned is also a good idea. And yeah, actually, I think that this starting setup is not a bad call at all. Like, I feel like a captain, guy to keep track of the guns, and guy to help the engines is a good setup. Oxygen, I've yet to see be a major problem because we haven't done anything yet. Medbay probably is fine since you even said I don't need to have it powered at the moment. I'm not entirely sure what these other three are. That actually might be a good idea.
You can hover over their icons. Also, it's worth noting that, the silhouette above the, power bar thing shows you whether it even is manifold or not.
Fair. Med bay. So oxygen's up there, and yeah, you're right. So weapons there, engine there. And so this is the S, the shields. Manning increases shield recharge speed. That's a useful thing to be aware of. Whereas manning the engines increases dodge chance. Yeah, I feel like for right the second dodge chance is perhaps better, but I may swap, Grayson here for the shields later. What are the other two? Sensors enables view of all rooms and info for enemy ships. It's a useful thing to have, but I feel like it's too early on in the run for me to be able to make very good use of that. And doors. Wait. So what is this one here, then? The one right above the camera thing on the actual map. Oh, I see. That is that. Allows for remote opening and closing of doors. Alright, sure. I feel like I've got a good enough sense of what everything on the ship is now. Let's go ahead and get started then. So we're here, your current location. There are two places I can go to. There's an unvisited location here, or alternatively I can go to a distress beacon where someone may need help. This feels like the game's way of telling me, hey, you're new, you should check that out. So, okay, let's do that. Once you arrive at the location of the distress call, a civilian ship hails you. Thanks for responding to our beacon. Our FTL navigation has gone haywire and we can't plot a course to the nearest depot to get it fixed. Could you lead us there? So there's an option to lead them to the destination or to decline. So, it's very apparent already just by, like random event type stuff that there's kind of two outcomes that I could probably see here. There may be others that they've dreamed up as well, but there's like two very obvious outcomes. Either A, this is great, and this ends up, being like a cool thing. Maybe they end up helping me at some point. Or alternatively, they attack me. Probably at a disadvantage because, they're following me. And with that in mind, the arguably intelligent thing to do to be safe would be to decline. But we're not here to play things safe, because this is the first run and we're here to have fun. So we're going to lead them to the destination and see what happens. Take this bit of scrap as a down payment. We'll use your jump signatures to follow you. You're really helping us out here. Added a quest marker to your map. Okay, so it sounds, at least so far, like they haven't, just immediately stabbed us in the back, but hard to say for sure. Okay, so this is where I'm supposed to take them. We're here. I can go here or here, but this would certainly not be taking me to the quest, so we'll go here. You stumble across a forward scout of the rebel fleet. Presumably this is an enemy. They are powering up their FTL. If they get away, they will no doubt warn the fleet of your position. Okay, that definitely feels like one we want to attack then. So let's see. Burst laser, and we're going to need to hit their shield system. I am absolutely demolishing them, though I would expect nothing less from the first enemy in a roguelike. Okay, that went well.
Nice.
Their ship breaks apart, and you are relieved to know that you are still one step ahead of their fleet. So we got some missiles, we got some robot beacon, and we got some scrap. What is this actually? It's not letting me find out.
Maybe it doesn't tell you when you're in a dialogue thing.
Fair. Number of drone parts. Ah, that makes sense. Using a drone consumes 1 drone part. Amount of fuel, and we have a number of missiles. Okay, so let's see. Currently speaking, the hull has taken a little bit of damage. If I wanted to heal that, how would I go about doing that would be the question. Oh wait, they'd said that I can't, right? Like, legitimately, there is no way for me to clean up hull damage, but there is ways to, like, undo damage to specific rooms. I do remember them mentioning that. Okay. Let's jump somewhere else. So we're currently here. If we want to keep going towards the quest goal, I probably want to go here. You're hailed by a rebel ship. When the rebellion is complete, you'll see the safer world we provide. Well, you won't, but you get the point. They arm weapons. Fair. Seems reasonable. They do have a bit of shield, so definitely seems like I want to start with missiles to the shield. So, have the Artemis system attack them. Okay, that's offline. Now I can use the burst lasers as well. Not sure what the best place to attack is in a lot of these sorts of cases. They offer to give you some of their goods if you don't destroy their ship. Okay, so let's see. We have a couple of options here. I could accept their offer, and I could get some scrap as well as whatever that is. I think that's fuel and some drone parts, which doesn't seem bad, but I feel like I was given more rewards on the last ship that I attacked by simply, destroying it. Not to mention the fact that there's also the case that if they get away, presumably being a advanced ship, they'll, tell the mothership where we are. So I'm going to assume that we want to not accept surrender. Okay, destroyed them. I'm gonna need to do something about that fire. The ship explodes, leaving behind a substantial collection of useful scrap material. Yeah, that definitely does seem better, but now I gotta figure out exactly how I deal with this fire. Before, they told me to, open the oxygen doors, but, hang on, I have an idea. Okay. And that should solve that problem, hopefully. Just destroy the oxygen problem. Yep, I don't know if there's a better way to do that, but at least for now, that seems to have helped the issue considerably. I don't know if I need to do something about actually, repairing these rooms, though, since they were on fire. Also, wait, why are these rooms not re-oxygenating? Do I need to, Yes, I get that, but O2 is low. The average oxygen level of your ship, most crew need oxygen to live. Your oxygen system will replenish if this is powered. Oh, yeah, that would be the problem. Okay, but wait, how am I supposed to fix that? I guess I'm going to have to go in here and have this guy hopefully fix it manually, or there will be an issue. Is this guy gonna die? Yeah, I think I'm dead. Wow.
That was exceptionally unlucky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do with this situation. It looks like they managed to get the oxygen system back online, although the oxygen is low and only one of my crewmates has survived. This feels like a reset moment, but at the same time it really is just my first run, so I'm not going to, worry overly about that. I guess just get back on and, we'll give it another go, Yomu. Okay, keep going towards the quest. Maybe at least we'll get to the quest. Let's see, this beacon has been placed too close to a supergiant Class M star. The ship will gradually overheat until you get out of here, or die. A pirate, apparently oblivious to the dangers of the sun, moves in to engage. Alright, that does not seem like a good situation to be in. Let's hit their shields. Now that's their shields down. It would appear that because my weapon system is damaged, all I can do is hit them with this Artemis gun. Oh, their shields came back online. I think there's a decent chance that this is where I die. Oh, especially since the O2 is on fire again. Hang on, I need to put out the oxygen fire here. The enemy ship is trying to escape.
This may just be the unluckiest first run I've ever seen.
Fair enough. Well, it is a roguelike. That can happen.
That can happen.
The ship explodes, leaving behind a substantial collection of useful scrap materials. Well, that's great and all, but I don't think that I am in any shape here. That fire needs to be put out ASAP. Okay, it's out, but there's other fires in other parts of the ship that I need to put out, or I will die. Come on, go out. I don't exactly have particularly long here. Okay. And now Yomu needs to... Oh, wait, that's bad. That sector's on fire now. And now I can't open or close the doors because the door area has... Yeah, I think I'm done. I'm done.
I think you just died. That was the worst situation you could have gotten as, like, the first run.
Apparently so. All crew members have died. Your ship will continue to drift for eternity. Or until the looters destroy it, anyway. Wow. That was definitely something.
Yeah, I mean, there are ways to deal with those situations, but, man, what a fucking thing to throw at a brand new player, good lord.
Mm-hmm.
That's roguelikes.
Yeah, the fact that my oxygen got set on fire twice feels like absolute bullshit.
Oh yeah, oxygen getting destroyed while there are fires in the ship. As much experience as I have with the game, still stresses me out.
I would believe that. It doesn't seem like an easy problem to fix. Let's see, the data you carry... Oh yeah, I've already read this. Okay, so we're back...
The tip does change every time.
Does it? That I didn't know. I guess in the future I will try to maintain awareness of that. Okay, so what happens if I put someone on the oxygen? Oh, there's literally not a benefit to manning the oxygen, never mind. Alright, and for the weapons, manning the weapons is 10% faster charge. That does feel very good. Again, manning shields, shield recharge speed, that is good. Whereas manning the engines increases dodge chance. I think honestly at this point I'm going to move the Grayson to the shields. I might change that back at a later point in time, but I feel like shields may be slightly more important, just based on how that last run went. Okay, so we've again got a distress beacon here. I feel like at this point I just want to rush for the exit. I want to see if I can actually get to the exit. You recognize the ship as a well-known slave trader. He hails you and offers you laborers for sheep. So here's the options. Buy one slave and free them to join your crew, which would require an enormous amount of scrap that I simply do not have because it's too early into the run. Attack the slaver scum, or ignore the slaver and continue on your way. So let's see. They have one shield, got relatively good hull. There doesn't seem to be any way to find out what their weapons are like. There is this grayed out thing, meaning they don't have weapons. I'm assuming they must have weapons, right?
Is that a question?
Yeah, this is an actual legitimate question. What does grayed out mean? Does that mean I don't know this, or does it mean they don't have any?
It means it's depowered, just like your med bay is depowered.
Ah, fair. Honestly, that feels like a poor choice on their part. I'm just going to attack them. See, they have immediately gone ahead and chosen to power that up, which I guess makes sense if I'm attacking them. And that was an extremely easy battle.
Alright.
Slave ship is destroyed. You won't continue their evil trade, but many lives are probably lost on that ship. Or they won't continue their evil trade. Yeah, but, I mean, they're slavers. I'm not exactly happy that, you know, from a moral standpoint, their slaves got killed, but, you know, like, by far and away, there's probably more people that would have suffered if they continued, if we're to actually treat this as anything more than a bunch of code. Alright, let's see. Jump. I guess that's my answer to the trolley problem, then. It just occurred to me
yeah, it's interesting result.
It just occurred to me that is legitimately just the trolley problem. I pulled the lever. I killed the one person.
Yeah, I suppose it makes sense, because I'd be the kind of person to pull the lever, and I also kill the slavers every time I see them.
Fair. Your ship is hailed. We found you at last. Prepare to die. Alright, so we got a rebel fighter, and again, they don't have their weapons powered up, which is a little weird to me, but they do have everything else powered on. There's not really a whole lot to glean from this, besides the fact that they don't have a ton of shield, but they do have a decent amount of, you know, hull. Alright, then let's go ahead and give this fight a go. Let's get the Artemis missile aiming for their shield, and, honestly, let's attack something that will cause them more trouble, like their weapons. If I break their weapons, that could be very useful to me, because then they can't fire at me. Not that it matters. Their weapons broke at exactly the same time, and I gotta do something about those fires in a second, but right this second. The ship explodes, leaving behind a substantial collection of useful scrap materials. Okay, cool. And let's see, I need to get this all opened up. Oh, wait, you probably want to move, Nazarene, so that I can actually clean the oxygen problem. Oh, wait. Move, and let's, wait. Come on, move. Ah, fuck.
That was unfortunate.
Yeah. Okay, I should be able to start. Wait, what just happened? Oh, the cameras. Nazarene, go deal with that. The camera problem is certainly unfortunate. Oh wait, Nazarene will die of deoxygenation if I do that. I'm going to assume... Yeah, okay, we're good. Let me go ahead and... Nope. Doors.
I feel like your best bet is deselecting the crew member by just clicking anywhere else.
Probably true. Let's see, is this room okay? Yeah, that room is okay. Not quite enough oxygen in there yet. We'll wait for that to power back up a little bit. The shields are critical, so we're going, and so are the engines. We're going to want to repair those once we can, but let me check this out. That seems good enough. Okay, and you may as well go and repair some stuff as well. These rooms need to be repaired. Okay, we got the lights back on. Now let's repair the engines. Man, what a crazy start to this run. This game is interesting, but man, can it go haywire fast.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, shield's back online. Engines seem to be being repaired as well. Okay, this seems to be back online. Let's go to the med bay for this character since they seem to be rather injured. We'll take one off the engines for a minute so I'm not really using them, and we'll add that to the med bay. Okay, so now I can remove that from the med bay and add it back to the engines. That was definitely a very good hint that you gave me.
Oh, the deselecting thing?
Yeah, but also, like, the not having the med bay powered when it's not being used.
Oh yeah, I honestly don't know why it's powered by default on this ship.
Indeed. But yeah, regardless, we seem to be in relatively good shape. Like, the only problem is that, you know, I don't have my third crewmate anymore. But that's really the only issue I currently have.
Yeah, good
Store.
happens.
That seems like a good place to go. The space station here has a traveling merchant who shows you his wares. Alright, so it looks like I can hire crew. That could be very useful, although I don't exactly have enough for that. Alternatively, I could buy fuel, I could buy missiles, I could buy drone parts, I could repair stuff, I could buy weapons. Do I have anything I can sell? Not really anything I would want to sell. I can't afford any stuff in the hire crew or weapons box. I don't know enough about these items to know yet if I really should be buying any of these. I don't know if what I would be repairing. Oh, the hull, of course, duh. Let me see how much repairing one does. Ah, it's literally 1 bar. Okay, we'll repair the hull. That feels like a fine use of my money since I don't really have much else I can do at the moment. I see that the area that the enemy controls is being taken over. Okay, so let's see. I have a couple of options of where I could go. I could go up here, I could go here, but as far as I can tell, there's no real difference between the two of these, so I guess I can just randomly go to this one. You see a civilian space station with heavy damage. You receive a message. We've been hit hard by the war. We need more drone parts to speed up our repairs. We'll buy some from you if you have extra. So I could sell 3 drone parts for 12 scrap, or I could ignore the station altogether. I don't even know what drone parts do yet, so I'm just going to sell them. Thanks for doing your business. Okay. I may as well continue on my way. There's the exit. You've arrived at the long-range beacon. When the FTL drive is charged, you can jump to the next sector. Despite the barren area, a trader has set up a shop at this beacon. He presents his offer. He will give me missiles for drone parts. Again, I really don't know very much about the drone parts. I've not seen anything yet that makes me want to buy them. And I definitely have plenty of use for my missiles, so I'm going to ignore this offer. Yeah, I know.
The way you worded it made me think that you thought you would be receiving missiles.
No, not at all. I know that that would be receiving drone parts in exchange for missiles. Sorry if I phrased that weirdly. I know that there's a chance that you who played this game a whole lot are going inside either, yeah, Peter made the right call, or wow, I can't believe he just passed up drone parts. Drone parts are so good. But I have nothing to go off of, and I'm not asking you to tell me because I should figure that out for myself.
Indeed.
Hey, how do I actually... So I made it to the place that's called the exit, but like, what am I supposed to do now?
Next sector.
Oh, that makes sense. Oh wow, this is a big map. So I can go to a place that is controlled by a group called The Rock, or I can go to a place that's controlled by civilians. I feel like if I want to continue to make this run go as well as possible, I should probably stay in the civilian sectors away from the enemies. I can certainly see how there probably are some really good opportunities for going to the enemy sectors and, you know, later runs where I know what I'm doing a lot better. But for right now, my goal is just to stay alive as long as possible, so... I do not even know yet what doing well in this game necessarily looks like. I imagine there will come a day where I will be able to go from this early in a run, wow, this run's already dead, I should go restart, but it's way too early for me to have any sense of that. Welcome to a new sector. Get to the exit beacon and jump to the next sector before the pursuing rebels can catch you. Danger. You're inside a nebula. Your sensors will not function, but the rebel fleet will advance more slowly towards you. Seems useful. Okay, so there's a bunch of different places I can go. I could go here, I could go up here, I could go over here, I could go down here. But it doesn't seem like any of these locations necessarily have anything special about them. There's no markings or anything on any of these. These two aren't in the nebula. These two are in the nebula. I feel like considering I don't even see the enemy yet, that I'm better off just getting out of the nebula, so we'll go here. Ooh, asteroid field, that's interesting. A pirate ship was lying in wait inside the asteroid field. It immediately moves into attack. Okay, so this one seems about as difficult as a lot of the ones I've already been fighting. So, let's see. Turn and fight. Can I already... I think I can actually aim these while it's paused. Okay, so we're going to start by sending some missiles to the shields. And we're going to use the burst lasers on the... May as well hit the weapon supply again. That doesn't feel like a bad direction to go about this. Okay. Let's go ahead and keep targeting what we've been targeting. Okay, and another Artemis missile towards the shields, and another burst laser towards the weapons. The enemy ship appears to be powering up its FTL. It's trying to escape. Alright, well, I don't want it to escape. I want to kill it if I possibly can. I guess that depends on whether it powers up before I can hit it again or not, though. Also, I just noticed the oxygen as being a problem. Yomu, go to the oxygen, and Nazrin, go to the doors. Okay. The ship explodes, leaving behind a substantial collection of useful materials. Ooh, that's a very good amount of scrap there. Like, that's legitimately kind of impressive. Okay, these guys need to get this stuff fixed ASAP. I see random asteroids can destroy the shield. That's interesting. You're in an asteroid field. Periodically, asteroids will strike your ship. Okay, I seem to have that all fixed. Nazar, go back to the captain's deck, and Yomu can go back to the shields. And then we probably should get out of this area, since there's asteroids, and that's kind of dangerous. Let's jump to... Well, I was already heading this way anyway, but the distress call is sort of interesting, so let's see what that's about. A small civilian ship flies over as soon as you arrive. You are prepared to fight, but they just inform you that they're out of FTL fuel and can't jump. So I can give them fuel, or I can apologize, wish them luck, and continue on. They don't seem to be necessarily offering anything up front, so this appears to be like one of those cases where it very well could be the case that if I give them the fuel, I get nothing back. But I could also get something back, too. That's just as possible. Or I could just, you know, apologize and continue on. Well, I'm never going to know what these prompts do if I don't try them, so let's see what kind of thing can happen if I give them the fuel. You give them the fuel. Thank you so much. We don't have much to offer, but have a look at the sector scans we took. Your map is updated. That's not useless. That could be helpful. Okay, so what have we learned? So we've learned that there's a possible ship detected there. Possible ships at those locations. There's a distress call there, there, and there. This is a nebula experiencing an ion storm. What the hell does that mean? And there's a store down here. So from where I am now, let's see. So the exit is there. So now comes the point where I have to ask myself, how much do I need to do here? So this, like with Risk of Rain, if I spend a substantial amount of time, on each map, I may get additional rewards, but I also put myself more at risk. But from what I've learned of this map, I could get the hell out of this sector, probably right now with minimal trouble. But then I have to deal with the fact the next sector will probably be more difficult as a result of that. Also, I don't know how reliable these maps are, and I imagine things do tend to move over time, but this is a fixed point in time. I doubt this map that they've given me is going to just randomly update with the movement of things. I can probably assume right now that if I make a run for it, I can get to the exit, but if I try to actively get to anything else, I risk things in the map changing. Of course, things can change in the following map too, and I won't even have a map for that map. Interesting. There's a lot to consider with this. So let's see. If I went back here, I could go down to here and then go to the store. Yeah, again, I don't live under any apprehension here that I'm actually going to win this. This is my first run that's lasted more than 5 minutes, and so, yeah, why don't we see what's in the store, just for the sake of curiosity. I'm willing to bet that I'm probably going to make it through things just fine. It's hard to see why, but this beacon is apparently a tourist destination. One of the ships at the small station is offering a deal. Yeah, I'll happily take that. Extra fuel is good. Okay. So we'll go to this one now. And according to the map that I was given at the time, this should be safe to do. But, there's a big but, I cannot assume that the map necessarily is going to continue to tell me the truth. Let's see what's down there, though. A heavily damaged Federation ship is hiding in the nebula at this beacon. Before you have time to make contact with them, they fade into the nebula. Attempt to follow and help them, or keep your position, they can handle themselves. This is an interesting one. I feel like I'm already taking a little bit of a risk with the maneuvers I'm doing at the moment, but, yeah, again, I won't know what anything in this game is if I don't try it, so let's attempt to follow them and help them, and see what the deal is. You get lucky, and find them floating not too deep into the nebula. Thrilled to be found by friendlies, they come on board and abandon their wrecked ship. Hey, I got a new crewmate. That's actually a really good outcome.
Hooray!
Yeah.
You can also give people you find this way custom names through the ship screen.
What was that?
You can also give people that you find along the way custom names through the ship screen.
I ought to do that. Also, I noticed that my engines are kind of shit at the moment, so I should probably fix those before we go too much further. Let's see. Also, it looks like the cameras must be damaged as well, considering the fact that that's off. Yeah, let's do a little bit of repair work here. And the ship screen, you say? Well, we've already had Grayson, so let's keep going with other Toho characters. This will be Marissa.
Marissa.
Yeah, we're going to repair a little bit here before we take off, because we probably want everything to be back online, ideally. So wait, are they repairing this camera, or no? Because it doesn't really seem like this camera is getting repaired. Maybe that shipmate can't do it? Let me try seeing if someone else being there makes the difference. No, it still seems shot for some reason. Off limited vision. Why am I not able to do anything about this?
Would you like me to tell you?
Yeah, because I don't think I'll ever figure this out.
Nebula.
Oh, the nebula is the problem. Yeah, I don't think...
As it said when you hovered over the thing, Rebel Pursuit is slower, but you also cannot use your sensors.
That makes sense. Okay, I genuinely just thought that it was broken. No, the engine was broken, but that was not. Okay, I think we're good shape then. Now, as we go ahead and man the guns, we may as well get them recharging faster for our next adventure. Everyone's health seems fine. Okay. So we can now go to the store and see what's for sale. A ship engineer has set up a small shop here. Okay, so now I actually have a little bit more money. Perhaps I can do something. So there are systems here, but they're all ridiculously expensive. There's also things called augmentation, so let's read what those do. Oh, I see there's 2 pages. I wonder if the last shop had 2 pages and I was just really ignorant of that. Oh well.
Nope, it only had 1 page.
Okay, cool, so I wasn't missing anything. So we got an FTL jammer. Scramble enemy ships' FTL computers, doubling the time it takes for them to jump. I don't care enough yet about something like that. Repair arm. Repairs your hull every time you collect scrap, but reduces scrap collected by 15%. That doesn't feel like a bad thing, but this feels like the kind of thing to be under, like, lunar items in Risk of Rain 2, where I really won't know until I've seen them or if, you know, it's beneficial or harmful in any one given situation, and I don't feel like trying that just yet. Advanced FTL navigation allows the ship to jump to any previously visited beacon. That could be useful. I might consider getting that, but I want to see what the rest of my options are. I could buy some crewmates. Benko is a human. Humans are common and uninteresting. There's also Mike Weston, who's an NG. It's unclear if the NG are partly organic or entirely mechanical, but it's well known that they make exceptional engineers. Repair speed is doubled, combat damage inflicted is halved. That sounds like a very useful kind of crewmate. Likewise, I could buy weapons, though I feel like I'm getting by just fine at the moment with the weapons that I have, although it wouldn't hurt to have more weapons down there. My other options are I can repair stuff, which I very well may just throw some into that period. Or I can buy more things, like more missiles, for example. Let me think a little bit about the math of this situation real quick. So, I have 68. I see a good breakdown here. I could fix all for 6. I could buy 4 missiles for 12. That's 18. That brings me down to 50. And then I could either get the engineer or I could get the burst laser. What does the I-bomb do? Might be worth reading that before making a final call. Self-teleporting explosive that uses ion damage to disable systems. Can target your own ship. Why would I want it to target my own ship? Let's see. Bombs teleport past the shields and defense drones to land directly on the ship. Like missiles, they cost 1 missile to launch. They never damage the hull, but can be effective at disrupting crew and systems. You can even launch them at borders on your own ship. Oh, boarding is a thing. That's interesting. I guess that does make sense, though, that could be a thing. Interesting. But I don't feel like, you know, a system that I've not even seen yet in the game is something I should be overly worried about. This feels like the kind of thing where until I have some sense of how big of a deal that is and have actually seen it, I'm not inclined to go buying that just yet. So the question then is, do I want a guy that can repair stuff faster and deals with combat damage, or do I want my burst laser so that I do even more damage? Honestly, I think that at the moment with the 3 crewmates I have, I'm doing well enough. I think I'll go for a burst laser, I'll buy my 2 weapons, and I will fix everything. I'm sure that one of the things that I did at least, if not all of them, you're screaming internally at, but again, you know, I don't know, so. Okay, so let's see. This build is creeping forward very quickly. Like, luckily I'm not intending to stick around here much longer anyway, but I definitely get the impression that there's not going to be much more time here for me to stick around. Another location, the nebula here will make fleet pursuit slower, but will disrupt your sensors. The section of the nebula is experiencing an ion storm. I may end up having to pass through that. I may end up finding out what that means, but for now, we need to go back this way. They're back to the nebula. Nothing interesting happening here. That's still advancing forward, but not monumentally quickly. If I went here, I could go here. Yeah, I feel like this is a safe bet. I don't think that this is going to move forward fast enough. Oh, wait. It just dawned on me how to read this. The white line is, like, the current border, and the red line is what the border will be next turn. Is that correct, Grayson?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Then, yeah, I absolutely can afford to go here first. Okay. Now I can go back here. And then I can go over to here. This is an unvisited location, though, which means I probably won't be getting a new event. It's looking like the map is fixed. The more I play around with this, the more I've only seen what I expect to see, which tells me that more likely than not, this map thing that I got earlier actually tells me everything about what's happening, which is really cool. Like, that's very useful. You come across an asteroid mining colony. They message you immediately saying, "Greetings, our supplies of mining explosives have run out ever since the rebels blockaded the system. Do you have any extra explosives?" So let's see. Missile weapon. Offer to solve their problem by launching a missile. Give them the requested 5 missiles. Give them 15 missiles, or decline. Well, considering the fact that I currently consider my missiles to be one of my most valuable resources, and the fact that the blue option did say was in general not a bad option to go with, I think I'll try the blue option. I'm curious. Well, I appreciate your enthusiasm. We have certain protocols for the use of explosives around the workplace. Launching a military-grade weapon into our mines isn't exactly what I would call union-friendly. So they're not willing to play ball with that. Alright, well,
That is funny, though.
It is indeed. I'm going to decline this, then. I do not feel like limiting myself to only 2 missiles. If I run into some enemies, that may not be good enough to defeat them. I understand. Good luck out there. We'll try to make do with what we have. Yep, sorry guys. I can't afford to be giving you that many missiles. There's part of me that would love to make it down to the store, but there is no conceivable way for me to do so without fighting at least 2 enemies, which... Well, actually there is a way to do it with only fighting 1 enemy, but this thing's moving way too fast. I'd never make it back up again, and actually what am I even thinking of? I don't have any resources to work with regardless. Okay, we'll exit. You've arrived at the long-range beacon. When the FTL drive is charged, you can jump to the next sector. You arrive in the sector and are greeted by a science vessel waiting by the beacon. They hail you. We find ourselves low on fuel and have a proposition. So I have a couple options. I mean, I have... Well, yeah, true. I do have a couple options. I can accept or reject.
Technically true.
Yeah, that's not false at all. So let's see. Again, I don't really know what the drone parts do, and losing 4 turns on the next map, it feels potentially rather dangerous to me. I'm probably being foolish at some level for undervaluing the drone parts so much, but at this point in time, I don't feel like I have enough information on them and their benefits, and I do know that losing the fuel is very detrimental. Oh, also, another question, because I'm not entirely sure about this game's font. Is that -4 or -9?
-4.
Okay, so that's not too bad, but it's still, you know, like, it's still quite a bit. Well, I'm gonna reject this, because for now, I don't feel like losing turns. I am perhaps making dumb decisions, but, like, what does one expect, right? How could I not make dumb decisions? It's my first run.
Hey, this time you didn't get set on fire and immediately die, so...
Indeed.
It is an improvement.
Hell, I'm about
Even if that's mainly just because of luck.
Yeah, I mean, hell, I'm going to my 3rd sector now.
Yeah, honestly not bad for a first run.
Yeah, this is going
First
relatively
proper
well.
run, that is.
What was that?
I said first proper run, that is, because the first one was exceptionally awful to you.
Oh yeah, right off the fucking bat. Welcome to a new sector. Get to the exit beacon and jump to the next sector before the pursuing rebels can catch you. Yeah, this time was the opposite of the last run, where I got very good luck. I could already tell that that map thing is probably something that when you get it, you go, Hell yeah. Because that feels like a very good thing to have. Hang on, I just realized that with this burst laser, if I actually want to make use of that, I'm going to have to turn something down. I hadn't really thought about that. Also, wait a second. Can I increase some of this stuff? I can, but that requires the scrap. Interesting. Okay, I see. I'm forgetting that there are many things I can do in this game. Maybe I can... No, that's not good enough. No, you can't undo both. So this may actually have been a bad purchase in retrospect. Oh well, I guess for now we'll not worry about that. So this is the new map. I have a bunch of different options here. So I have 4 places I can go. I'm not really sure why someone would go to this location. I can't tell if... I hear you laughing. I can't really tell if this is the kind of situation where this is a, like, the reason why you would go here is because the game tends to make locations that are isolated like this have better chances of stuff, or if this is just the engine being random and stupid. I have more reason to believe the latter, that this is just the engine being random and stupid, so I think that I will not opt for that. See, this location doesn't seem terribly helpful. It only connects back up to the other 2. This one goes a bit further afield. This one can take me all the way out here. So if I go this way, I absolutely am going to have a long, long trip around. Whereas this one seems a bit more reasonable in the long run. But I am also sort of lacking materials at the moment. Let's be a little adventurous. I'll go with this one. I'm curious to see what's out here in this great universe. There are a number of ships stationed around a rest stop. You immediately receive a message saying, if you're looking for some bodies to fill your ship, you've come to the right place. Those are good prices, but I don't have anything I can spend on those, so don't hire anyone. Okay, so now 2 of these options would end up taking me ultimately in the same direction, so it's a flip of the dice, really. We'll go this way.
A flip of the dice.
Well, a 2-sided die. You come across a rebel automated scout ship pursuing a civilian ship. Weapons engaged. Aid the civilian ship or stay out of it. I feel like I could use the spoils of war. Let's see what happens. So, you power up your weapons and engage the automated ship. Okay, let's pause this immediately so I can take a look at what's happening. They don't even have a shield. Wow, that's kind of weak. Okay, so we're just immediately going to attack their weapons so that they cannot hit me as easily. Okay, that's going well so far, and so we'll do the same thing again. Yeah, this vessel is weak as hell. That was a very easy victory. Oh, 16 scrap. That's really good. The ship breaks apart. You hasten to contact the civilian ship. Let's do it. There's one. It's a good thing you came when you did. We'd be dead now otherwise. I'm a shipwright, and I'd like to help you like you helped me. The captain offers to install a piece of equipment on your ship. This is a glaive beam, but it doesn't tell me what it does.
It's free, you can look at it once it's in your cargo.
Oh, it doesn't cost 14? So what is the 14?
No, you saved him, so now he's giving this to you.
Oh. So we got a glaive beam. Type beam. Damage per room hit, 3. Versus something like this, which, normal damage 1. and this is normal damage 2. So this hits very hard, whereas the Artemis ignores shields, and the burst laser does 3 shots per charge. So it feels like this glaive beam at some level is about the same as the burst laser, but it feels like it requires more of the charge stuff to actually use. I feel like this is a bad weapon, but I may just be misreading how these sorts of things work. No idea, really. But for now, let's just continue on our way. So, now we're going to go through a nebula. You arrive in the middle of a plasma storm. Despite the harsh conditions, a rebel scout seems to be waiting for you. Okay, so this is a relatively atypical scout ship. They got their shields, they've got, normal stuff. Okay, sure. Let's just immediately... Wait, why is one of these powered down? Why do I have a bunch of these powered down? I guess I should read the danger warnings. You're inside a nebula. Your sensors will not function, but the rebel fleet will advance more slowly towards you. Okay, that's the normal one. The sector of the nebula is experiencing a plasma storm. Your main reactor can only function at half capacity. Oh, that's very bad. That is very bad. So, oxygen seems to have been one of the things that went offline with this, and that feels very sketchy. Very, very sketchy. I feel like I have no choice here. I have to do something kind of stupid. This is kind of a weird setup. I feel like I'm probably making like 5 mistakes all at once. But as much as I need the engines for dodging and the shield for, I don't know, staying alive, at some level I feel like if I don't start tearing away at their health, I'm going to be dead. So this is probably where the game is going to end for me, but we gotta do what we gotta do. Intruders detected. Oh, that's very bad. Game is starting to get difficult. Okay, so let's see. Nazaryn's health versus this guy named Jack's health. Jack seems to be winning. We're gonna have Yomu come over there to help out. Then let's see. I realize suddenly that I'm being a little bit too conservative with the oxygen. This will stay online for a while. I have 100% oxygen. I don't need all of it at the moment. Let's put that into the shield, perhaps. Oh, no, I have to have 2 into the shield. I could alternatively put this into the dodge. That could be a thing. Does this guy's shields come back online eventually? Yes, they do. Okay, we'll put it into the dodge because I think that's probably the best thing I can do right this second. But between attacks, I'm going to need to pay very careful attention to what is happening, or I could end up very screwed. Okay, so let's see. I've already got the weapons offline, but frankly, I'd like to keep attacking them because I really don't want that to come back online. An enemy appears to be powering up its FTL. It's trying to escape. That is certainly an annoyance. Let's see if there's anything I can do about that. They're powering on much earlier than some of the previous ships have done in the past. Okay, so their crewmate is gone. That's certainly an improvement. If I can get another hit in before they get out of here, I probably can accomplish it. So they have this teleporter pad. It's not going to make a difference. If I hit that now, it doesn't matter because I'll destroy them either way. I guess it really doesn't matter where I drop these. I'll either destroy them or they'll escape, one way or the other. And there's not really anything else I can do about that. Oxygen levels still seem fine. If I take this down, am I able to load another laser? No. Do these things charge different rates? No, I'm pretty sure they charge the same, right? Many tip for faster charge. Marissa, go to the room as well. We need to get these things loaded as fast as possible. Alright, let's do it in real time, see what happens. Might be able to do it. Yep, got it. That was a really chaotic battle, but I somehow managed to pull it out of my ass. I'm honestly genuinely kind of impressed that I was able to do that. The ship explodes, leaving behind a substantial collection of useful scrap material. Nice. Continue. Okay, so I'm no longer under any danger, so we're going to undo the weapons. We're going to go ahead and put oxygen back on. We're going to put the med bay on. We're also going to build the shields, because while I don't think anything can actually happen at this point in the game, I don't want to be, you know, I don't want to be sorry later. This feels like a good setup for them healing. Is there any way I can tell if a part of the ship is damaged from here? Like, if there is...
all damage is sort of represented by red bars on the systems and subsystems.
Fair, and I don't see any, so actually, surprisingly enough, I think that worked out quite well for me. Okay. Out of curiosity, what did you think of that fight? Did I do well with that fight?
Yeah, I feel like you made some pretty good decisions.
Nice. So let's see, we're going to send Nazareth back up to the captain's helm here. Yomu will once again be manning the shields, and Marissa can continue to man the weapons just in case. So, let's see, I no longer need medbay. Let's go ahead and add a little bit to the weapons. For now, this feels like a good place to be sitting for when we encounter more enemies. Definitely once I get out of this nebula, though, I'm going to want to do more. Your engine system must be okay, so it cannot be that. I have to have the engines functioning. Okay, that seems good. Wait, is there some reason I might want to have both of them up? Probably not. Okay, so we're here now. And it still doesn't seem like there's anything terribly interesting around me. This node feels like it's connected to enough neighboring nodes that I should be able to get some sense for what the neighborhood is if I travel there, so we'll go up there. A rebel ship hails you. Federation scum, we waited a long time for this. Okay, so we got a new ship to fight, and they have more shields, so I'm definitely going to need to take that into consideration. But now I've got my full arsenal back again, so we're going to continue and immediately pause, and we're going to see what we can do about this. I'm guessing this little guy here, enemy combat drone, repeatedly attacks your ship, can be shut down by damaging the enemy ship's drone system. Okay, so the enemy presumably has a drone system somewhere. Ah, it's this guy right here. I don't know how much damage the enemy drone is going to do yet, though, so I'm not sure how much I care just yet. One of the things I learned last battle is that the oxygen really is not as important as it seems like it is in one of these fights. So we're going to go ahead and not worry about that quite so much. Okay, we got our weapons back online. It looks like the way to get this burst laser up is that I would need to have just more on the weapons in general. Okay, it actually looks like with that in mind, I'm able to charge all of this stuff, and there shouldn't really be an issue there, so yeah, this is back to normal operation level. Okay, so immediately the Artemis needs to be attacking the shields, and the burst laser I would like to have attack the weapons. We'll see what the drone does, and we can make a bit of a call from there on what else I should be doing. Okay, it took down the shield. Shield came back up. It took down the shield again. Okay, I'm actually getting hit now thanks to the drone, which is annoying. Okay, it appears like I'm almost back for another cycle, so let's go ahead and continue to do what I am currently doing. The drone on itself cannot do any damage because of my shield coming up faster. So if I get rid of the weapons, it should just be the drone repeatedly taking down the shield and nothing else really happening. That should work fine. I missed a bit, though. We'll keep doing what was that?
As of the other day.
True. We're doing fairly well here. Okay, their shield is down, and of course now they're trying to do the FTL escape. But, honestly, the burst blade is probably just about to kill them since it does 3 shots and they have 3 holes. So this is not even something to worry about. You made your point, we are beaten, take these and leave us to our shame. Okay, so we have, you know, quite a bit of material here. This is all good stuff. 6 fuel, 6 weapon, and 14 scrap. But at the same time, like, what would happen differently if I actually did destroy them? Like, what would I get instead? I feel like to a certain degree and extent that probably, and this is just a guess here, probably scrap and drone parts go up from not accepting the surrender because I'm destroying their ship, and so I can get random parts from it. But I feel like if I accept their offer, that's probably going to be higher fuel and missiles, because I've not totally destroyed all their shit, so that kind of stuff would be remained intact. Might be completely wrong with this logic, but that would be my guess as to how this is organized in terms of what resources you get based on these sorts of scenarios. And with that in mind, if it is a choice between more fuel and missiles at this point versus more scrap and drone parts, it's fuel and missiles, so I'm going to accept their offer. Alright, so let's see. Apparently I just jumped at this point. Ooh, a store!
That's convenient.
Yeah, I know, right? I definitely want to visit one of these before I move on. As ship engineer, I set up a small shop here. Okay, let's see what we got going on. So, got a few different things here. We've only got one page, though. There is drone control, which is certainly interesting. We've already seen that drones do have some value. Although then I'd have to start considering drone parts more sincerely as I move forward. I could... Oh, I can't afford it, silly me. What are my options for selling, though? I've not used the glaive beam yet, and I do think it's kind of a crappy weapon, so I'm honestly just going to sell that right away. Wait, how do I sell this exactly? Oh, I see, this is my cargo. Drag, equipment, or augmentation. Oh, and this box. Wow. Look at Peter go. Anyway, but regardless, that gives me even more money to work with. That's a no-brainer to me. Like, I'd rather get the other burst laser up if I were to get another weapon. Let's see. So, there's crew teleporter. Allows you to send your crewmates to board enemy vessels. Certainly interesting. I feel like if I were to choose between those two, that would be the drone control. Cloaking. Cloaks the ship, adding 60 to your evasion and preventing the enemy ship from locking on with their weapons. And both of these terms are vague. 60 to your evasion. I don't know what my evasion is to begin with. I don't know how much that helps. And locking on with my weapons, how much does that increase the miss chance? What does that mean? Are there places where I can find this kind of information out, Grayson? Or would this literally just be a gotta have a fill for the game kind of thing?
I believe if you hover over the percentage below your shield.
Below my shields. I think I'm gonna have to close this real quick before I do that. There's the shields. Percentage.
In top left.
Top left. Oh, fair. Evasion. The percentage chance incoming shots will miss your ship, determined by your engine power level. So it's 15%.
Okay, I guess it doesn't really tell you there. I guess try hovering over the engine.
Alright, let's try hovering over the engine. Let's see. Charges FTL drive, powers evasion, meaning increases dodge chance, dodge 10. Oh, dodge is 10. And this said that it increases it by 60? 60. Jesus fuck. That's quite an increase. Cloaks the ship, adding 60 to your evasion and preventing the enemy ship from locking on with their weapons.
There is a reason it is expensive.
Yeah, Although I also see that it's a cloak for 5 seconds. Granted, that is a very cool toy. That's interesting. How much does my other weapon here sell for? 25. Okay, so no matter what, I can't actually buy that. It's just good to know it's away. It's good for me to be aware that exists. Let's keep reading through the shop. Recharge booster. The ship's FTL drive powers up to 25% faster. Thus far, I have not cared about this. I'm going to continue to not care for the moment being. I'm not going to really work and fleeing in this run, I think. I think that if I'm going to go out, I'm just going to go out for this first run. That is a strategy I will implement at a later time. Advanced FTL navigation allows the ship to jump to any previously visited beacon, which is definitely something we have seen before in the shop. With the current map, though, it's not super helpful. Like, the current map, honestly, is kind of, not demonstrating very much to me that I want to take advantage of, so I think I will ignore that as well for the moment being. Okay, so since I'm not going to be able to get everything, a very easy choice here is to fix all, since that doesn't even cost very much. Okay, so now we have 3 things that I can do. 1 is that I can buy supplies, 2 is that I can buy one of these things, or 3 is that I can save my money, in case I find something else along the way that I like the looks of more. So, I don't really know that I'm comfortable with the idea of crew teleportation just yet. I don't have very much crew to begin with, I only have 3 people. I don't really know what their combat capabilities are, and presumably if I teleport someone onto an enemy ship, and they don't win the battle they're doing, I don't have them as a crewmate anymore. So, this feels like something I'd rather play around with when I have surplus crew. Drone control is interesting, especially since I am aware of this as a thing. However, it does seem to require system power. It does say that right there. It requires system power in order to even use this, and it would require me to have drone parts as well in order to actually make use of this. So if I were to get drone control, I'd also need to buy some drone parts. Let's take a moment and actually look back at the ship upgrades panel and see what I can do with these. So I could increase my shields. So each one of these can block 1 shot. Power the FTL drive, allows the ship to dodge. Okay, that's a thing I could do. I could make the medbay better, although, why? Let's see. Oxygen, refills the oxygen of the ship. Again, I feel like this is largely a why question. I'm sure there's a good reason to increase your oxygen later down the road. I don't see it yet. Weapon control. This feels like a very good one. Arguably, this is probably one of my best options. Piloting. Jumps and dodge when piloting. Already decided I don't care about that at the moment. Builds the interior ship and gives information about enemy ships. Enemy interior, that's certainly an interesting upgrade, but I feel like it's a bit of a novelty at the moment. Allows remote opening and closing doors, upgrade to blast doors that impede fire spread and intruder movement. That's also very interesting. Not a bad thing to have either. Or I could increase my reactor. Provides power to all ship systems. Each power bar allows you to send 1 unit of power to a system. Subsystems do not need power from the reactor. Okay, so I guess now that I'm thinking about this, I actually have even more options. Do these other tabs have things I can buy? No, they do not. Okay, so I feel like the things that I'd be interested in are weapon control, more power bars, drone control, or just buying more resources. I feel like, again, like, drone control, I've seen them useful in battle from the enemy using them, but at the same time, I feel like increasing my weapons could do about the same, and it's just one more system I have to learn how it works. This is just my first game. I might stay out of the drone control, honestly, for now. Then there's the other resources. I have FTL fuel. I have plenty of that at the moment. I'm honestly not concerned by that. As far as missiles go, I might buy like one more set of them, but I actually have a decent amount at the moment. Let's go back to the ship here. I could buy more weapon control here, which is currently at 3. And it appears that the next one costs 35, and then 50, and then 75, whereas these are always 20. What do I need for this? I would need 2 more for another laser. So for that, then, that's not the right page. For that, then, I would need to spend 85 to do that upgrade. I could make this, then, pretty much, yeah, hang on. I could make it like a real push to really get that online if I really need to finish an enemy quickly. If I bought, like, both of those for 85, and then another one of these, making it 105. Is that something I want to do, though? There's a lot of options you can do in this game, good lord.
Absolutely.
Like, there are so many different directions you can go with this, it's kind of wild. Like, increasing shield actually is like even another option that I could go with if I wanted to. Ah, man, there's so many different things you can do if you want. But I only have so much scrap, I don't have infinite scrap. Question. Can I move these guys around in a battle?
I'm pretty sure, yes.
Okay, cool. That's interesting to know. Okay, so yeah, I might take that into consideration. I think I will for sure buy one of these. That's increasing the weapons a bit. And then I think we'll buy a shield. Oh wait, but that wouldn't actually help, because I'd have to buy 2 shields for 50 to make that useful. Actually, you know what? Fine. But wait, I have to actually power those. Oh, there's so many elements to this. Yeah, I think I'll buy another power bar, and I'll buy the weapon control. And then I'm going to go to the store, I'm going to buy extra missiles. And I think I'm going to leave the remaining 45 in case I find something I want to buy later. And now, if I wanted to, I could reorder these like this. And I could have 2 burst lasers up. Or
I will say, you technically don't even need to reorder them. Yeah, as you just discovered.
Yeah. I can do burst lasers.
Their position there only determines which gets shot offline first when you take damage.
Yeah, which I guess, honestly, this original order makes the most sense. But I could, in theory, have 2 burst lasers active, or the burst laser and the Artemis active. Which is, I think, a good thing to have. If I find an enemy where I've already got their shields down, or they never had any shields to begin with, doing 2 burst lasers is absolutely more preferable. And let's see, is there any other benefit to increasing this? Doesn't seem to be. Okay. For now, though, I will also power that online. Oh, it literally will not let me. Okay, we'll just leave that as extra, then. Okay, my whole cast of characters seem to be fine at the moment. Yeah, I guess we'll continue. Sorry to everybody, including Grayson, for taking so long on that one.
Oh no, I think it's interesting.
Fair.
You're actually putting a lot of thought into this kind of stuff and figuring a lot of things out. I like it.
Fair. I could go to this distress call and see what this is about. After all, this thing is not moving very fast at all. I should have time to make it back if need be. And for all I know, the distress call could be to somewhere around here. That would be interesting. Yeah, sure. Let's be adventurous. See what's out this way.
Adventure.
You have encountered a refugee ship drifting in space. It looks like it was fleeing the rebel advance and ran out of fuel. It did pretty damn well. In fact, it overshot. Its distress beacon is active, but you're not sure anyone is on board as communications seem to be down. Prepare to board and investigate. Sure. The ship is completely abandoned. It looks like it ran out of fuel, and the crew ran out of food not long after. Despite the grisly scene that remains, you're able to scavenge some supplies from the cargo hold. Very nice. Extra scrap and some more missiles. That's very convenient. Okay. the only way to go is back to the store, so we'll do that. I guess I could just remind myself if there's anything else I want to do real quick with this. No, there really wasn't. And what were the things I could buy in here? If I buy one more power bar, then I could, in theory, have... No, actually I couldn't, because I still would have to have the weapon thing powered. Never mind. I might buy one more just to have more wiggle room, though. Okay. But that's just for the sake of having more wiggle room to do stuff with. Alright, so for now, let's go ahead and jump. I think our window is starting to narrow at this point. Like, it will go to here next turn, and then probably somewhere around, like, there the turn after. So my time to be exploring is nearing its end. Let's go ahead and head back to the point we'd already explored. And, oh yeah, that's advancing quickly. If I wanted to, I could probably explore one more location before going to the exit, just to see if there's anything interesting there. Fuck it, sure. A ship refueling station is stationed at this beacon. We can purchase fuel here. Okay, so, yeah, no, I don't care. I still have plenty of fuel. Not terribly interesting. But yeah, we've got to get out of here now. The wall of bad is approaching rapidly. I was much more adventurous this time around. Let's see. You've arrived at the long-range beacon with... Oh, it's the same thing it always says. You pick up an automated message from a nearby space station. There appears to be a local shipwright that can perform emergency work on military ships. Inquire about their specialty. They offer to upgrade your piloting subsystem in exchange for some scrap. That's not very explicit. What will this do for me? How will this help me? What constraints would exist on that?
Do you want me to tell you?
Actually, yeah, go ahead. I feel like this is way too fucking vague.
It increases the level.
Ah, fair. And this is like a give me at some level too, right? Like, it's not something I have to use, like, the ship's charge for.
Yeah, the subsystems do not require power.
Fair. But if I recall correctly, this doesn't actually really help me very much in just my normal FTLing around. It's mostly useful for if you need to flee from battle, which I'd already decided I wasn't really going to do this run. So I'm going to decline. But it's good to know that exists. Okay, next sector. I like how I'm just barely outside of the range that this is going to approach to next turn. Okay, so we're here. We now move on to Sector 4. Did you expect me to make it all the way to Sector 4?
I'm not sure if I did. You're actually getting really good at this game.
Fair. You arrived in NG space. The fall of the Federation has brought tough times for those or these robotic life forms, but they're usually willing to help. Alright, so let's see what the new map looks like. So, again, we have space that we can travel through, and we have three options. The first option is mostly useless. It's a tunnel that essentially goes nowhere but to a dead end. Second option would take me off further into the map. One very quick, short travel that I could take to get to the exit if need be. And the third option is also a dead end. Yeah, I feel like right off the bat, this node is the only good option. I might make some more decisions later on and go off in different directions, but I feel like going to either of the other two is ultimately just going to slow me down in my movement. You notice an NG colony hiding on the other side of a nearby moon. It turns out that they're excavating the equipment cache from the Federation Mantis War, and they suggest it might be used to lure the pursuing rebel fleet. So we've got an opportunity here to booby-trap the cache for 2 missiles, or secure the cache. So, let's see. Let me read through that again. Equipment cache. Okay. This feels like one of those cases where the way I should read this is gamble or safe option. Although, honestly, I'm not even entirely sure at some level if the safe option is actually a safe option. The first option I can see as, okay, I could booby trap the cache and perhaps I just get stuff out of it at a increased level. Or it could trigger a really nasty battle if they catch on to it and come attack me. Securing the cache, likewise, could get me some stuff, perhaps a bit less, but honestly I could even see that leading to some negativity. What if I try to secure the cache and the NGs get annoyed at me? Then what? Huh. Well, since I feel like there's a gamble either way, I feel like I already have enough missiles, I'm gonna try booby trapping. You'll transfer down some missile warheads and the NG rig them to blow before setting a distress signal to attract the fleet's attention. Fleet delayed by 2 jumps. Oh, interesting. So that means that I have 2 more turns I can spend on this map before the enemy comes. That's really curious. I'm surprised that literally just me trying to be experimental and learn more about how this game works, in and of itself, seems to be honestly rewarding me a lot of the time. Ooh, a store. Yes, please. Let's see what's at the store. An NG ship hails. Engine upgrade necessary for travel home. Sale of equipment necessary for engine upgrade. Okay, so we got 2 pages of goods here. Definitely need to think a little bit about what's possible. So these are the same 3 things I had options before. Also got the drone recovery arm, weapon pre-igniter, something new. Weapons are made immediately available after an FTL jump. That's very curious. That's something I would genuinely like, but I don't exactly have a lot of money at the moment. Chilled charge booster, boost the ship's chilled recharge rate by 15%. 15% is not a lot with what my current setup is like. I feel like if I had way more in the shield, this would be a genuinely good thing, but at the moment I'm not sure that's all that viable. I can also buy weapons. Heavy lasers can wreak more havoc than their smaller burst laser counterparts. Firepower 1, charge time 9 seconds, shots per charge 1, normal damage 2, fire chance low, breach chance low. Grayson, what does breach chance mean?
Breach chance?
Yes, breach chance.
Basically a chance to cause a breach. If you also want me to explain what those do.
Is this something that would be a feature I already have enough context for, and I'm just being sort of forgetful, or there's a couple bits to it?
It's
or is this
not
like
something you've encountered before, no.
Okay, I think then the answer to that is no, not at this time. And of course there's a healing burst thing. This is interesting. The heavy laser is certainly interesting. What does the current burst laser that I have do? Oh, actually I didn't even notice that there was a difference between burst laser 2 and burst laser 1. That's really curious. I hadn't even seen that. So this guy here sells for 25, whereas the heavy laser costs 50. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm not sure that I feel overly enthused in making my current setup. And of course then we have these 2 NGs. That's very curious, but again, I feel like that might not be what I'm aiming for here. There's a part of me that's genuinely curious about trying to get the weapon pre-igniter, but obviously I would have to go out and actually salvage more stuff in order to make that happen. Otherwise, let's see. I can buy fuel. It costs about 3 each. I can buy missiles. I have plenty of missiles. I can buy drone parts. I don't really care about drone parts. I think right off the bat I will buy myself an extra turn with the fuel. Maybe even 2 of them. I think otherwise I'm actually going to leave this be, though. I'll keep the mental note that this place exists in case I... Oh my god. Really? Another one right next door? What the fuck?
Wow.
Yeah. So this actually is a good note anyway, because this connects to a lot of different places in this particular galaxy. Let's try going there. I may as well see what the other shop looks like anyway. The NG can do remarkable things with just a pile of scrap. The NG Hive at this beacon are selling equipment for just that. Okay, so they got more weapons here. We got a heavy ion weapon. Ion weapons can disable systems without causing hull damage. But wait, why would I want to disable a system without causing hull damage? I'm guessing there must be some other system in this game that I'm unaware of. Like, if you disable all their systems or something, they are more likely to give up and give you, like, what they've got on board or something. Otherwise, I can't really see what the use of this would be. That's really fascinating. It's breach. These missiles are designed to cause maximum destruction to ship hull armor. It's also interesting. And then there's the fire beam. This terrifying beam does no physical damage but ignites fires. It's problematic, but I feel like that's a much better weapon used against bigger ships than the ones I have been seeing. Got crew options. Ooh, new group of people, the Zoltan. The Zoltan are allies of NG. Their innate energy can power ship systems. That's curious. So you're telling me that these guys not only are crew, but they basically act like extra energy. What in the world? That's a very curious thing, huh? Of course, there's two of these guys. That's a very interesting purchase, if I were to do that. Of course, we have another NG here. Page 2. Got a repair arm and an FTL recharge booster. Okay, not particularly interested. I could buy more of this stuff, but I already did exactly that, so I'm not super fussed about that. Okay, so I'm aware of what exists here. So, if I had 60, I could buy one of these curious crewmates that increase my energy. If I had 120, I could go back and buy that other thing at the other shop. But for the moment being, I don't have a lot of money either way, so this is a good opportunity to try to make some money. Distress call sounds interesting. I might try going there. You follow the distress beacon to a tiny asteroid belt. You find a small ship struggling to maneuver through the field. Hail them to offer assistance. Sure. They respond, "Help! Our shields are down and we won't last long." Try to shield their ship with yours. Don't risk our ship. Lead them to their fate. Okay, so this is an interesting one. This is another example of something where if I really cared about this run surviving, then I probably would avoid doing something like this since I don't know what it does. But again, I'm not playing this round as if I'm trying to win. I'm playing this round as if I'm trying to learn. And since I don't know what this option can do, why don't we click it and see what happens? Because I see a few options. This could just simply take some of my hull, in which case, okay, it's not that expensive to repair at shops. I don't really care. Or, alternatively, it could do something much worse, like setting fire to parts of the ship, which I've already seen is extremely fucking destructive and extremely dangerous. Like, it is worrisome when the ship gets set on fire. That would be a much more risky thing. Hell, some crew could even die. That would be extremely scary. I don't know what this option can do, so let's try it and see. You try your best, but one stray rock hits a key structure in their ship. It breaks apart in front of your eyes. You salvage what you can before leaving and try not to think about the lost crew. Okay, so one option is it can just give me money. That's a good option. That works. That's fine.
Yeah, that works.
Yep. But I do feel like, as with most roguelikes that have encounters like these, this is far from the only thing that can happen. I probably got one of the best, maybe not the best, but probably one of the best outcomes that could happen there. Just money. So let's see. The enemy is starting to advance again towards me. I think I'll explore a little bit off in this direction. I can maybe loop back to the store if this doesn't encroach too quickly, and then it's also bringing me towards the exit if it does. I like how I was trying to click on this note as if I can go there. So what do we got going on here? It's a forward scout. They got extra shield though, so I'm going to need to take that into consideration while doing this. I'm obviously going to want to use my Artemis first and foremost. They are powering up their FTL to get away. They'll no doubt warn the lead of your position. I don't think there's really anything I can do about that, but that might cut my round short here. Interesting. So we've encountered a ship that is actively trying to FTL. Well, we'll see what we can do, I suppose. Okay, so Artemis on their shield. And so they don't seem to have, like, a part of their ship that's actively part of teleporting. So I'm going to assume with that in mind that the helm is the best place to attack if there's any chance of stopping them from doing that. Can I add more to the weapons? I cannot. Can I actively update? No, I cannot update the ship while in the combat screen. Interesting. Okay, so I think that this really is just my best bet for the moment since I have to get the shields down. I don't think this is going to make much of a difference, though, if they're just going to escape any minute now anyway. Okay, they are attacking me, and it's now time to load another round. Okay, their shields recharge really fast. Not actually sure I'm going to be able to do very much this round. Yomu's health is kind of bad. We're going to turn this back on. And meanwhile, you need to go back over there and repair. Honestly, this might be where we die. Okay, they got away, but I am very in danger now. The scout jumps away.
That was terrifying.
They are sure to have informed the fleet of your position. You must get to the next sector as soon as possible. No kidding, I don't think I have a whole lot of time here, one way or the other. Okay, first we need to get these fires out, which seems to be happening.
Burris is dead.
I see that, yeah. Yomu probably should get out of the oxygen deprivation area. Okay, that's taken care of. Okay, so let's see. Yomu, wait, I need to close the door again. Let's get these doors closed. Okay, so the two of you are going to need to, once the oxygen levels get... Oh, the oxygen levels are not going to come back online because the oxygen room is broken. You need to repair that ASAP. I guess I probably should get Yomu on the job as well. Okay, that seems to have fixed the oxygen, so now the oxygen levels can get back up a bit. Okay, so it seems like there's enough oxygen in this room. I can try to repair this a bit. Oh wait, that one doesn't even need repair. The weapons are fine. Shields, though. Shields do need a repair.
By the way, you can click and drag to select multiple.
Oh, that's very useful.
I don't know if the tutorial told you that, but that's the thing you can do.
I'm not sure if it did or it didn't, but I clearly forgot one way or the other.
I don't remember it doing so. But I maybe just wasn't paying enough attention. I don't know.
Indeed. Let's get these guys held up while I'm waiting for the oxygen levels to return to normal in the engine room. Maybe I should open this door so that I can get the oxygen flowing better. Right, why is the oxygen not coming back on in that room? I'm very confused by that. Is it just that it's so badly damaged I need to repair it a bit? I guess I'll have to try doing that for a bit. We'll let them get to about a third. Okay, leave. Yeah, that was the problem. It needed to... There was clearly a hole or something similar in the room that needed to be repaired before the oxygen levels could go back on again. Good lord, this game has a lot of complexities to it.
You might be able to say it was a breach.
Ah, that makes sense.
That doesn't scary, but I feel like you handled the situation pretty damn well.
Yeah, the only negative thing that well, there's two negative things that came out of this. One is that Marissa is dead, and two is that the enemy is moving quicker again, but otherwise, we're mostly okay.
Yeah, I don't think you noticed that there was another breach in the shield room that Marissa fixed right before dying.
Yeah, no, I didn't even notice that Marissa died. You had to tell me that.
Yeah, I said that because I figured you probably weren't looking in that direction.
No, I most certainly was not. I was far more focused on a number of other problems that were occurring. Okay, and, let's see, we'll boost the shields. We're back to relative normal.
Minus one person.
Indeed. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I would kind of like to go back to the store, so I think we'll do that. Plus, this route has fewer nodes I have to pass through that I haven't explored, so we'll do that. This might end up being a little risky, though. Okay, back to the store. I kind of decided based on this what I'm doing, so I'm going to be buying this new crewmate to make up the difference, and they're also hopefully going to help in a number of other factors as well. Okay, and so now I need to name this new crewmate. No, wrong page. So we're going to rename this character who is all glowy and stuff Nue because she's glowy. Okay. And you can go ahead and go to the weapons room, I'd say. That seems like a good call. That's interesting. So just as I'd assumed, just by this person being in that room, they are adding power by themselves, which is really wild. Is there anything I have on me that I can actively sell? No, I do not. Okay. But I can tell you what I do need to buy is more fuel, because I am running way too low for comfort. Okay, so we're now in this position. I definitely need more scrap, and hopefully we'll find some more along the way, but for now there's very little I can do about it. I just gotta keep going. So, down to here. And hopefully this location isn't too dangerous. As soon as you arrive, a small mantis ship detaches from a wreck and jumps away. You must have interrupted their salvage operation because you find a weapon ready to be installed. That's very interesting and unusually lucky, I might add.
True.
And extra money occurred. Let's see what the map says now. So currently this is where it is. I'm going to make a bit of a gamble. So we're going to close that. We're going to swap Burst Laser 2 and Burst Laser 1. We're going to go to the store. We're going to sell the Burst Laser 1. Oh. We're going to close that. Then we're going to go to our... where is it? Here. And we're going to buy one more... Oh, wait. I don't... One shy. Oh, for fuck's sake. That's unfortunate.
Oh, you might be able to get it after whatever your next battle is.
Indeed, that's certainly possible. But, you know, no matter. It is what it is. For now, though, we clearly need to get the hell out of here. I mean, we bought the thing that... I mean, we sold the thing that we came to the shop again for, so it's not like I made this gamble off of no premise. But, oh, man, is that moving forward. But still, I should be able to get out of here in time, so it's not a big deal. Okay. And so, what are my options here? So this one's not going to... Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything other than just leave. And I think I have to just leave. You arrive at the long-range beacon. When the FTL drive is charged, you can jump to the next sector. You recognize the ship as a well-known slave trader. He hails you and offers you laborers for cheap. Buy one slave and free them to join your crew. Or 33. Attack the slaver scum, or ignore the slaver and continue on your way. So this guy has 2 shields, which if I already had the second burst laser... Actually, no way, because only Artemis can really deal with those. Yeah, that's mildly problematic just in a general sense. I'm not sure I can take this guy down in a meaningful way, so I don't know that attacking them is a good call, and really I don't need any more, so as much as I hate to do this, I think I'm going to ignore the slaver and continue on my way. No... Wait, what? Why? Why do I have no fuel? I'm confused.
You used all of it.
But doesn't it take like 1 fuel each round? I swear I had 3 left.
When you were at the store, you had 2 left.
Oh. This is bad.
Yeah, you could say.
Well, I guess I could still attack this guy. And
I don't think you can. I think you pretty much missed your chance.
Okay. This is very bad. Wait for help to arrive. Distress beacon. Following the distress beacon might increase the chances you'll be found, but no telling who will find you first. Well, I'm in the situation that I'm in, and considering the wall is moving to engulf me soon, I don't think I have much choice. We're gonna turn this on. Do I hit cancel now, or do I just sit here?
You hit wait.
A mobile slugman fuel depot enters scanning range. My prices are fair, but I ask one thing. Do not insult me with negotiation. You check out his price list. Ooh, that's bad. I have 1 shy of having enough fuel that I could actually do something about this. Alternatively, I could attack them.
Very fair prices.
With the shield being the way it is, I don't think I have any chance on this one, though. Like, if this guy had 1 shield, yeah, I could. But, I don't. Oh, but wait, I see. It's also... The game's not giving me the option to wait for another person, though. It's telling me that I can either, you know, buy his stuff or fight him, basically. But wait, there's also the jump up. Nope. It really is just my only option the game is letting me have is to fight. That's unfortunate. You offer a more reasonable price, but the Slugman's outraged. He moves into attack. Well, this was a good run. We're dead. I do not think I have the ability to fight this guy.
I wouldn't be so pessimistic.
You say that, but the shield recharges almost immediately. Like the last time we attacked this guy, someone who had 2 shields, it was too fast. Already before the burst.
You want to tell me what happened? Do you want me to tell you what happened with that fight?
Yeah, because here's what I think happened. In my mind, what happened was I was hitting with the Artemis, and almost immediately after the Artemis struck, the shields were right back up again before the burst laser could even hit. And so
Did you ever see the Artemis hit?
Not that I'm aware of, but maybe I'm mistaken.
What I don't think that you noticed was that that ship had a drone circling around its shield.
Oh, so that's doing something.
Up to you whether I tell you what kind of drone it was, but it did have a drone.
Okay, tell me what kind of drone it had.
It was a defense drone. Basically, it shoots down projectiles.
Oh.
So you weren't even hitting with the Artemis.
Oh. Well, our health is at half. We still stand a very good chance of just dying here, but let's give it a shot. We're gonna do everything we can to try and make this happen. This may be my only chance of getting the hell out of here.
This could really go either way, so best of luck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is going to be a very close battle indeed. I am hitting them. I am hurting them.
Hey, I might just win this.
Potentially.
Oh.
Okay, so Yomu is going to need to leave this room momentarily. And I'm going to need to open the doors to get that fire out. Oh, but I also have an engine room fire as well. This is probably bad. Why is Yomu not leaving? Okay, there we go. Also, you're going to need to leave as well, Nue, or you're going to die. Okay, but I think that we may actually win this regardless. Their health is such garbage, I think we're going to destroy them. But we may end up losing some shit along the way. Yeah, we win. And we got some fuel from that. You try and collect as much fuel from the wreckage as possible. That worked out somehow. Granted, we're kind of in a little bit of danger now, but the fires are out at least, so we're in better shape than we were. We get these doors back and closed. And amazingly enough, the oxygen...
Oh yeah, something rather helpful is that there are buttons in the bottom right for opening or closing all doors.
Oh, are there?
Yep, just a nice little shortcut so you don't have to click every door every time.
Oh, you're right. Close all doors, open all doors. That's very useful. I'm going to try this real quick just to see how this works. Okay, cool. And it's not like the airlock doors, it's just the interior doors. That's good.
If you click the bottom one twice, it does open the exterior doors.
Oh, interesting. Okay, you both go ahead and start fixing up the shelves. In the meantime, I'm going to take a brief break to use the bathroom and do a few things, so BRB. But you're welcome to talk with the people in the stream if you want, or you can also go BRB.
I think I wouldn't really have much to say, but... Yeah, I'm the kind of person who only really comments on the game, so... What, do you want me to tell some story or something? You can tell your own damn story.
I am back. And so with that, we are back to faster than luck. The first things
the
first.
soundtrack of this game so good.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. It was made by the person who made the one theme in Celeste that I really like. The second piece, I didn't think it was.
Oh, interesting. That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So for the time being, while I would go ahead and buy that extra upgrade, I have no idea what I'm going to need versus not need, and we need to find a store soon to get more materials, so for the time being, we're not going to spend any money. We're just going to get the hell out of here, because we have to get to the next sector, like, now. There might be a store over here, but that does me
I don't know, I think you have time to get to it.
I mean, to be fair, I do not...
You do have time to get to it, you just don't have time to get back.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't know what it is like to go back into the anger zone. It could be that I could immediately just hightail it the fuck out of here to the next sector, and that would actually give me time to visit the store. But I'd be willing to bet more likely than not, the second I enter this bubble of death, I just get paired against a really nasty enemy, and yeah, I can't chance that, so off we go. So I got two choices, obviously, but considering the fact that I'm trying to avoid dealing with the hostiles, we'll go south. We got an achievement called Just Getting Started. Welcome to a new sector.
And lock the ship.
Nice. Get to the exit beacon and jump to the next sector before pursuing rebels to catch you. Congratulations, by making it to the 5th sector, you've unlocked the NG playable ship for the future playthroughs. That's cool. Now, did you expect me to get this far?
Almost certainly not. I didn't have any prediction in my head, but I figured the first few runs would be a learning process.
Well, they are anyway.
True. Just not in the way that I was expecting.
Okay. So I'm going to make a general beeline towards the exit here. I'm probably going to do a little bit more exploring if the game gives me good opportunities to do so, but sticking around and potentially dying out here is risky as hell. Although, I don't have a lot of resources. I don't have a lot of fuel. Yeah, actually rethinking it, what I really want to do is maximize the number of adjacent nodes I can see. Because ultimately what I want to do is I want to be able to travel to a shop. And the higher the number of adjacent nodes, the higher the probability of seeing one. If I travel here, I only get 2 new nodes. If I travel here, I get 3 new nodes. So actually, this is the better option. Ah. This could be the end of me already, especially since I only have 1 Artemis missile. You detect a rebel scout on an attack approach to a small refueling outpost. Their weapons are charged, but they're not firing yet. Okay. Intervene to defend the outpost or avoid the conflict. The resources could be very useful, but at the same time, if I fail this, I'd be dead. And at the same time also, this is not that bad of a fighter at some level. Like, it's a gamble. It's a massive gamble. But if I run out of fuel, and I have to call for help, I very well may run into something far nastier than this. But I think I'll avoid the conflict. The rebel ship fires some warning shots that eventually powers down their weapons. The outpost seems to have given them what they demanded. Fair. And unfortunately for me, it does not actually seem like that helped very much because none of these adjacent places are a shop. Which is unfortunate. Alright, but we're probably going to have to call for help, and God knows what's going to come of that, but let's presume I get help, and I actually get fuel. Then I'm probably back to square one, and I still need to find a shop. So which node can I travel to that will give me the biggest advantage? So this one only tells me information about one new node. That's not helpful. This one gives me information on 1, 2, 3 new nodes. That's better. This one gives me information on 2 new nodes. So this one is the ideal one. Disrupting the sensors isn't great, but it's not immensely horrific either. So we'll go there. It's hard to see why, but this beacon is apparently a tourist destination. One of the ships at this small station is offering a deal. And I can do nothing with that, because I'm not even entirely sure if it's I give them fuel for missiles, or they give me missiles for fuel, sorry, other way around. It doesn't matter. I don't have either, so... Well, I'm gonna have to call for help, but, interestingly enough, that still does not seem to put me anywhere near a ship, so... This is on, and we wait. What sort of horror are we going to run into? A ship responding to your distress move set. Unfortunately, it turns out to be an automated rebel scout. It immediately reverses thrust after scanning your ship. Okay, I've seen one of these before, and these aren't too horrible. I might be able to win. Maybe. But I do think I still am probably screwed. Okay, we're going to attack their missile supply. Oh wait, I probably should be attacking their shields. I think that I just have to go all in on the shields. I have to get them offline if I possibly can do. My only chance of survival is if I can get their shields offline so I can actually continue to hit them. But I'm out of missiles, so the missiles will do me no good any longer. Might as well load both burst lasers.
Oh dear.
Something very bad has happened, I get the impression of.
Yeah, it's just that it knocked off the burst laser 2 offline.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to send this character over there to start repairing that. And since it doesn't really feel like there's much reason to worry about the navigation at the moment, we'll send everyone over there to work on that. Okay, now I can send another burst laser over here. But I very well am probably just screwed already, you know? I'm just dead, though. I genuinely get that impression. Oh, they're gonna hit me again, and I'm probably dead now. Yep. Well, that's the end of the first run. Well, second run, technically. Game over. One last explosion marks your fate as your ship is torn apart. Oh well. I'd say I did quite well, considering the situation I was put up against. Defeated
Sure, you did really well.
7 ships.
Definitely a rather unlucky last encounter. I mean, I see what weapon the enemy was using, and it's a pretty damn good one. I mean, 5 lasers. Jeez.
Yeah, that was very difficult to do much with. I'm afraid that I stood no chance there, but we got somewhere at least. Yomu survived.
Can't say I didn't see that coming, but yeah, overall you got way further than I initially would have ever expected. So congrats.
Well, thank you. Yep. And that happened. FTL's pretty cool. I can definitely see why you like this guy.
Yeah. I think after you have a bit more experience with it, there's the Advanced Edition stuff. And even after that, this game has a rather healthy modding community.
Fair. This is really cool. I will definitely say that much. I'm enjoying it, and I look forward to playing it again in the future.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you play more of it.
Yep.
Any questions about any of the stuff that you've seen so far, by the way?
That is a good question. Is there anything I would like to ask? One confirmation does come to mind that I might as well ask, since I feel like I figured it out anyway. So that one time when I got the map of the area, I, after a while, kind of got the impression that it must be the case that the map is fixed, that all events are where they are, and it does not change over time. Is that actually correct?
Yeah, the map is fixed.
Okay, cool. I wasn't entirely sure, because I could certainly see it being the case that over time, events and things do move around, and if that's the case, then the map becomes outdated. But it didn't seem like that was what was happening, so I figured that probably wasn't the case, but, you know, I figured I might as well check with you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's one of those things where, like, your run gets a seed at the very start, and that determines what all you face, where all the events are, what events, you know, are where, and etc.
If speaking of the map, would you consider that a lucky find?
I think it's pretty good.
Fair.
Personally, I usually prefer, you know, actually getting loot from that, but map is definitely at least worth what you gave whoever it was.
That makes sense. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. But yeah, I definitely would say in the future, one of the things that I've realized is I probably should, from the start, be a little bit more adventurous in my attempts to get loot from early on spaceships. I certainly think that I was perhaps a bit too careful at the start of the run, as I very quickly, you know, realized that I did not have enough money to really buy a lot of the stuff that I necessarily wanted. But I still don't think it was a bad attempt by any means. I did very well at getting quite far, considering, but yeah, I could see that if the run didn't end that level, it was going to end at level 6. There was no way I was going to keep going, because the enemies were getting too much more powerful than I was. And I just was not going to have the resources to make the difference eventually. But still, I did well.
Yeah, I think it's good to think of it as like a sort of like Risk of Rain 2, except, you know, instead of having a timer where enemies get more powerful over time, you have a turn timer until you have to get the hell out of there. And, you know, you want to explore as much as you can before you have to leave, but, you know, also you don't want to screw yourself over.
Indeed, and I am definitely seeing that. The biggest danger is usually not the individual encounters. It can be. I mean, absolutely. Even in Risk of Rain 2, like, you could die of a fucking random beetle just anywhere in any round, and, you know, like, that can always happen. But more likely than not, your biggest fear in Risk of Rain 2 is, you know, like, the timer getting too far ahead. And I think to some degree and extent I can see that's very similar here, where your biggest problem is, you know, like, the limited number of turns running out. The actual encounters are something to be chased after, not to be avoided.
Exactly. That last encounter, though, bit mean of the game to give the enemy a burst laser Mark III.
Fair, no doubt, but hey, the fact that I had my first round begin with fucking oxygen tanks getting blown up, it says that the game can be a little mean at times.
A little bit, yeah.
But I am happy I decided to do this in normal mode. I think that, frankly, easy mode would probably be unnecessarily simplistic. I think that I can probably learn the game pretty well in normal mode. But I'm definitely gonna need to do more. I'm definitely gonna need to do more runs before I fully understand. And like you saw, like, I was intentionally choosing to ignore some mechanics simply because I didn't want to overwhelm myself with too much at once. I do need to explore other things and see how other elements of the game work, like the drones, for example.
Sure.
I imagine it probably...
you also unlocked a new ship layout.
That's true. I would assume it probably is indeed possible to do, like, a droneless run or something, but that's probably more of a challenge thing to just completely ignore one of the elements of the game. Of course. No?
I think it's more just that, while drones can help you, really upgrading or getting anything can help you. It's just how you sort of, you know, build your build over time.
That does
It's all
make
about the decisions you make, the systems that you choose to get or upgrade, the weapons that you get and choose to power, whether you decide to, use missiles or drones, all that sort of stuff.
does make sense. It's a cool game, and I
Sort of
like
like getting items in grid terrain, like you just,
Mm-hmm.
it's not necessarily a challenge to avoid certain items, but, sometimes certain items can be really good if you get them. So, of course, other times it can be bad to get them.
Yeah, I can definitely believe that. Still, regardless, this is a cool game. I like this a lot.
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh yeah, I do actually have one thing I want to ask.
Oh?
Would you like a bit of a tip involving dealing with fire? Or would you like to figure that out on your own?
No, you can give me a tip, I don't mind.
Something that is very helpful in a lot of situations is the fact that crew can put out fires.
They can?
You do not always need to completely vent the ship to take out a fire. You can just put some people in the room and they'll deal with it.
Ha! No, I don't.
Of course, if there are 3 fires in a room and you put 1 person in there, that person is certainly going to not be able to combat it, but, you can just put as many people as you can in the room and it'll be taken care of, assuming they have the help for it.
Fair. I think in my mind, I just thought that and assumed that the risk to the people who were trying to deal with the fire was, probably too great to even contemplate that they could do anything about it. But that does make sense.
I think it's kind of like when you fix that one breach.
Mm-hmm.
It's the exact same kind of thing. You take damage over time, but you can, deal with the thing and then get out of there and kill your crew.
That does make sense, and I'm beginning to see what you meant before we started about how sometimes you just have to pause this game and take stock of what's happening.
Absolutely. Yeah, I definitely do. Honestly, it's mostly thanks to this game that whenever I see a game bind the pause button to the space bar, I'm like, oh boy, it's that kind of game.
Fair enough. But yeah.
Because this is certainly a specific kind of game where, pausing is just a thing that you need to do to plan out your next moves.
Yep, and as you've seen, I literally just, the very first thing I do after clicking continue upon a battle starting is I just pause next frame. Because I want to take stock of the situation. For one thing, I want to tell the weapons what part of the enemy they should be attacking, but I just end up I want to plan out my moves.
Yeah, and I think that's very smart. You figured out a surprising amount for just your first run.
Yep. It honestly reminds me a little bit of the way that Final Fantasy games tend to do turn-based stuff. And by that I mean that a lot of JRPGs tend to have turn-based or real-time, or with turn-based it's okay, well, you plan your moves, you execute them, then the enemy does something, and rinse and repeat. Whereas real-time, is more like a lot of other RPGs that we've played over the years, where it's just okay, well, your skills have cooldowns and you keep doing stuff. But what makes the Final Fantasy games unique is that the fight tends to be pseudo-real-time, and the fact that, for all intents and purposes, it pretty much is still turn-based, but it gives the illusion of being real-time by there being recharge rates and stuff happening if you wait long enough, etc. And in some way, I feel like FTL is kind of that as well, where it's technically turn-based, but it looks like it's real-time. Because if you were to play it real-time, as you stated before, that would be a challenge. You should be playing it more as if it's turn-based.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
Sort of real-time in the sense that, you gotta wait for the weapon to be ready to fire, but, turn-based in the sense that you can queue up your actions before the fire's even charged to, get things going.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, anyway, yeah, this was a great time. Now, Grayson,